Hi, today is Monday, December 28th, 2015. It is one of the last days of 2015. And I think one of the things, I think today is the day, besides all the other stuff, I'm going to do part one of my what happened this year type of stuff. Okay, so today was pretty uneventful. We had somebody come over who we have not seen in a long time, named Tony. My mom was going to call the Target Center today, but I don't know if she did or not. If she didn't, then she can call tomorrow, because she was going to ask a question that had something to do with the concert. And I heard her asking about a meet and greet or something for the band, and she was talking about some other seats that were an option before we got the actual tickets that we got, she didn't like them. And if you go and watch my Why Seats Don't Work episode, I'm a little worried because, as I've said in that episode, seats do not work. So it's making me kind of nervous because I do not want to be confined to a seat and have to sit in a seat like that. And I'm really nervous because if they force me to sit in the seat, who knows? I could have a bad concert experience like what happened 4 years ago. I wasn't forced to sit in a seat, but like I said before, I was stuck in between two rows of seats. Was able to move around just fine, but the only problem was I kept chairs against me, everything else, and the seat was only good for setting down my camera. That's all my camera and other stuff, that's all I really used it for. Because I don't do very well sitting in seats and stuff. And I have trouble now that I'm more used to the rock shows. I have trouble being comfortable at things like high school performances because I cannot sit down for that long at a musical performance. I'm able to sit down pretty well if it's like a musical, like a Broadway not Broadway, but like a musical performance of a show. But if it's like an actual musical with lines and everything else, I'm able to sit through those. Just not through, like, stuff where it's pretty much all music. But I understand if it's like, a story and they're trying to do lines and that stuff. So I'm able to do pretty well with that, because it's pretty interactive and stuff. And I know that for plays you would have to do that anyway. For plays and musicals. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't work for things like rock concerts or something like that, where if I don't move around at something like a rock concert, I would get bored like very, very easily. Like I said, I just sent another email to Live Nation yesterday. I did not explain this, but oh no, I kind of did actually. But it was just, yeah. It was my experience with having to sit in a seat like that. Just it doesn't sit right with me. I don't do well in that. I don't do well with that. So that would be the only problem with that. That's why I'm trying to get backstage. and get a meet and greet, so I do not have to sit in the seats, because the Target Center is all seating because it's a stadium. It's more of a venue that's meant for sports. It's not really equipped to handle rock show. Well, it is, but it's not made for that. Like I said in my other episode, you can go back and watch that episode. But so here's what happened. My mom was going to call, and we're under a winter storm warning, so there's snow and everything else going on, and heavy snow. So one of my mom's banks at work got canceled. So she is going to be back after the one job that she has. And the reason it's canceled is because of the weather. I'm not kidding. I recorded some of the jingles this morning. But anyway, here is my first part of what happened here, excuse me for 1 second, in 2015. Okay, so the first thing was, well, we were in Grandma's house after she got moved to a nursing home. So we were in the house still. And then we went to try and get the house, and the manager for, it's a company called RGI, was not nice and threw us out of the house. We ended up living in Dodge Center at a friend's house, a small one-bedroom place, and how we found Shane and these people, or the place that we live right now, is because we have been talking to him, because he was the cousin of another friend, and another friend of ours was living with him. And then after, because we were looking at houses and trying to find a house that'd be suitable, for our needs, and we were not finding any openings for houses. Well, we were originally going to come here on Sunday nights and stay the night, but then we decided to just plain move here, because we thought that, because Mom, I guess, thought that would be a better option, and I totally have to agree. But anyway, since we moved here, I was very unhappy because the school was hounding me, asking me where I lived. I know they said it was because they cared, but still, I do not like being asked that kind of thing, and it made me upset and scared. So my mom had to call and talk to them. So yeah, we went through that, and then we moved here. This was when I was obsessed with the Wiggles, and I do have my stuffed Greg that's already on my bed, and he's next to the other porcelain thingy I got after a performance at the state fair. And we moved here, and it was a little shaky at first, because of SSI and things like that. But then it just went up from there. My last year of summer school, I wanted to go to a different program because I was not happy in summer school. Again, because it was school, and I didn't like the school I was in, because as we found out in my meeting, if you go back and watch my What's Next episode, because of my meeting, we figured out that the school was meant for people like my sister, and so the routine was just, too repetitive, in my opinion. It's way too repetitive, but I didn't like to change any of it because I was used to it. But at camp, I was much happier because it wasn't as repetitive, and this is another thing I want to point out. I don't like the repetitiveness of the way the blind school operated. I'll be right back after these messages.